Hello, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I post here. There's so many reasons for that, but today I want to teach you something really, really important as a recovered people pleaser for you who may still be struggling with boundaries, boundaries with self, boundaries with others, how to set them, how they not only benefit you, but they benefit everyone around you. And then I'm going to take you through a short meditation to set some energetic boundaries. First of all, I'm going to share about what's been going on in my world. Feel free to fast forward if you don't give a shit. But I have been everywhere these last weeks. I was in New York, then I was in Central America. Last night, I just got back from a little solo trip to Rome. And I realized I was quite disconnected from my creativity and I wasn't showing up here on YouTube as myself. And I realized that I needed to go in and do a little bit more work around boundaries on the internet, boundaries with strangers. I've been showing up on Instagram relentlessly, so vulnerably for the past 5 years, but I was not prepared for the hate and the trolls on YouTube. My nervous system really wasn't prepared for that. And I remember going to a coach whose membership I'm in, and I said, I got absolutely slammed for speaking about receiving in connections, and being a high value woman calling in high value men. And I said, what do you do? Because I know this particular woman gets a lot of hate online. And she said, Katie, I don't have time for that. And the comments that I get, it's generating the algorithm. It's getting me more attention. So I'm just grateful for it. And I can't let it affect me because I'm out there and I've got a message. And I was like, wow. And I really needed to go inside of myself and have some more boundaries, energetic boundaries with the internet, also some energetic boundaries with myself. I noticed myself getting into, especially with my jet lag, getting into some loops. I watched quite a lot of Housewives when I was having my jet lag. I noticed myself not creating anymore. I noticed myself disconnected from my voice. And I noticed myself on one of the last videos that I did here, I just wasn't showing up as myself. I'm a generator. I'm a double Gemini Capricorn. I've got a lot of fire. And I felt like I was showing up here a little bit, just not myself. So I decided to take some time away and go deep within. And now I feel so connected to my message and so connected to who I am that strangers on the internet can say whatever they want. And deep down inside of myself, I know that I am here with a purpose, and that is to get my message into the ears and into the hearts of those who need it. So let's jump right into boundaries. Boundaries teach other people how to love us. When you set a boundary with someone that you love, you are saying, I love you. I want you in my life. I'm not abandoning you. I'm showing you how we can coexist together. I'm showing you how it feels good for me to be in this connection. Sorry, I'm a bit dehydrated from traveling. Boundaries teach others how to love us. Now, when we have an unregulated nervous system, I know for me back in the day, when I think back to where I first struggled with boundaries, it's always been in friendship with females. In my 20s, I was a touring DJ. I was catching sometimes 7 flights a week. I was in clubs 3 nights a week. So during the week was my sacred time to fill my cup back up, to look for music, to write music, to go to the gym, to take care of myself. And I remember one of my girlfriends saying to me, I just feel like you're never there. I want to go for a night out. The last thing that I wanted on my night off as a DJ was going into a club. And I remember getting ready. She was on her way to my house. I called my dad and I was just crying and crying and crying. And he was like, why don't you put up a boundary? And I asked myself this question. It may be very reflective to you as well. Why am I scared of putting up a boundary? Guaranteed you're scared of being rejected. You're scared of being abandoned. You're scared of that person leaving you. But anyone that you put up a boundary and they're not willing to at least compromise is someone that was benefiting from you not having a boundary. So it's a really great way to do a bit of a spring cleaning of your friendships. If I am no longer able to give, or if I'm in a stage of my life where I'm not able to give and I need to fill up my own cup, and that is detriment, that means our relationship is over. You were never a genuine friend to begin with. Does that make sense, guys? Anyone that you lose by putting up a boundary, I say this all of the time in my masterclasses and to my clients. There's a certain amount of people that I can have in my cinema at one time. If someone gets up and leaves in the middle of my show of my main character of my own life, they make space for someone more aligned to come and sit down. Nature loves space. Nature loves space. If you put up a boundary with a man in dating and he ghosts you, the man who is meant for you will love you for setting a boundary. High value men love women who know what they want and know how to communicate what they want and know their own boundaries. They don't want the people pleaser. It doesn't activate their provider mindset. They're not pursuing. If they're not chasing you, or if you're just pleasing them all of the time, I hate to say it, but they get bored really quickly. Know what it is that you want and say no to anything that is not in alignment with that. Sorry if my hair is just absolutely annoying the crap out of me today. So fast forward to my life in Bali. I lose everything as a DJ. The pandemic is happening. I was living in Lisbon. I jumped on a flight to Bali. I left all of my stuff behind. It's still in Lisbon. I live in Barcelona now. And I started my business. And I was doing sessions by donation. I really wanted to figure out, what is my niche audience? What does the world need from me? What am I here to give? So I was doing lots of donation sessions and I was available for everyone all of the time. And I just remember waking up in the mornings. I used to leave my phone in the drawer and I remember shaking, opening up my WhatsApp, was terrified of my Instagram. I had people, and it felt like an honor that people felt like they could, I hate to use the word trauma dump, but really offload onto me in my Instagram inbox, to a point where Instagram no longer felt like a safe space for me. And again, I was on the phone to my dad crying, going, I just don't have the capacity. And it kept happening and kept happening and kept happening, to the point where like every 3 months I was self-combusting, deleting Instagram and WhatsApp, putting up a status of like, please leave me alone. And my girlfriend said to me one day, I love you, Katie, but I feel like that there's something in your energetic field that is allowing this, because look at all of the other coaches and healers who have hundreds of thousands of followers. They've got boundaries that people, you know, to not go and offload onto them, that they just won't even reply. So that made me go inside and take a look at my side of the street and go, is there a part, especially as a recovering codependent, anxious attachment, is there a part of me that feels needed by people offloading onto me, that feels needed by having my boundaries pushed? And now I'm so convicted in my boundaries that when someone crosses it, kind of feels a little bit violating. And now I know, before, with my friends, and now the high value woman, she takes a deep breath before she responds. She takes a moment to say, why is this showing up in my life? What can I do? And how can I communicate myself clearly and gracefully? Hey, thank you so much for that invitation this weekend, but I won't be able to make it. No over-explaining. I know it sucks. I know you want to over-explain yourself. I've been there. I used to write things like this just to say something so simple. No over-explaining. Thank you so much for that invite, but I won't be able to make it. If you truly feel like that person is going to get upset, offer them an alternative. I wish I could come this weekend, but I can't. I'm actually going on a hike, or I'm actually taking some time to fill up my own cup at the moment. How about I take you for a coffee next week? The amount of times that I don't lie, now that I'm no longer DJing, I only DJ a couple of times a year, I don't want to be out till 3 a.m., but I do have a lot of DJ friends and I've always been their biggest supporter. Now I say, hey, sorry, I can't make it. Let me know how it goes. And I'd love to take you for a margarita on Monday. I missed my girlfriend, my very close girlfriend, birthday last year because I was going through a deep breakup. and I was just in a bad space, and I just knew that I would not only was I protecting myself, but I was also protecting everyone around me. I didn't want to show up to her birthday sad and in resentment that I didn't want to be there. So I took her out for lunch a couple of days later. That friend that you promised that you'd move, that help move, and you wake up in that morning, you're like, why the fuck did I do that? I really don't want to help her move today. And you go there and you show up resentful. It sucks for both of you. I always tell my clients this: when you say no to something like that, you give the person the opportunity to find someone who actually wants to help them. And who knows, the person that they find might be their future partner. I'm just using this as a very, very basic example. But that person could be a job opportunity. They could, the person that takes over you not helping her move could be her future boss, or they could have a business opportunity. They could get talking and she could manifest through this person. So not only are you protecting yourself, but you're protecting that person from being around someone that really doesn't want to help them move. Can you see what I'm getting at here, guys? So learn how to lovingly and assertively communicate a boundary without over explaining, without getting passive aggressive because it won't land, and doing it in a subtle, graceful, and grounded way. You do not have, it is a normal person boundary to not respond. Guys, back in the day, you send me a fax, it would take days to get to me. It would take days for me to reply. It is a normal person boundary. Repeat after me. It is a normal person boundary to not reply straight away to people. It is a normal person boundary to sometimes, sorry guys, I've got to tie my hair up. It's driving me mad. It is a normal person boundary to sometimes need a break from a friendship. I'm currently on a 2-month break from one of my friendships from someone that I love. But I noticed that some of the chaos that was going on in her life was starting to have a negative effect on me. I was starting to become resentful. I was starting to conk out, trying to be there all of the time. And I watched myself not showing up as a good friend to her. Underneath some of the things I was saying, I could feel the resentment. I wasn't being true and authentic. So I asked for some space. And we're about to reconnect this weekend. And I can't wait to reconnect. It's okay to take friendship breaks. It's okay to take relationship breaks. And my fucking goodness gracious, it is okay to take breaks from your business and your projects and your clients. Another component that I want to point out is when you explain your boundaries and when you keep them, you give other people permission. You give other people permission to set a boundary. I had a client, I've got terms and conditions with my clients. I can be lenient for certain circumstances. I'm so understanding. I run a heart-led, soul-led business, guiding women to their best selves. I had a client who was going to be late on payment. I said, no problem, we can work through this. And then when that day came, she was like, could I do half now and half next month? And I was like, hey, a few weeks ago, this is what you said. This was the agreement that we both came to. And this protects both of us. It holds you accountable for paying, and it makes you take the space that we have created together seriously. And also that holding yourself to your word. And she wrote back to me going, oh my God, Katie, you held that. I can't even remember exactly what I said, but it was way more graceful than the way that I just explained it. I'm freestyling today, guys, with no notes. I just felt the fire inside of me and I wanted to come and give this to you right now. And she thanked me for putting up the boundaries. She said, you held that so eloquently. I can now take the way that you communicated that boundary and use it with my family and my friends because you just showed me the way, number one. And number two, I can afford to pay the full payment. I could have 2 weeks ago, but I got stuck in my lack mentality. And you've just called me forward into my highest potential. She paid the money. Another, some money came through a couple of days later because it's the law of freaking attraction. When you invest in yourself, the world invests in you, which is a whole nother topic that I could go on for hours and hours and hours. So when you set a boundary, you give other people permission to set boundaries as well. We're all scared of losing friends. We're all scared of being rejected or abandoned. It's in our DNA on a deep ancestral level. We are scared of being abandoned because back then it meant death. Is all this landing? So, my darlings, the next time that you need to set a boundary, take a deep breath. You don't need to reply straight away as a normal person boundary. Take 24 to 48 hours, disappear for a month if you need to, whatever it takes. Understand what you need. Communicate it clearly. No beating around the bush, no massive paragraphs. Just, hey, that doesn't feel in alignment for me. Another example in dating. Men will be men. I've had a great connection with someone before, and then the conversation has gone to sexual. I don't do that before a first date. Nah. And I said to him, he was asking if I was submissive, and I said, hey, I'm naturally submissive when I feel safe and provided for in a connection. And that's all you need to know before we meet. And he wrote back saying that was such a detailed, I said 2 sentences, was such a detailed and classy way of responding. Thank you so much. Can't wait to see you. I put up a boundary. I showed him the type of woman that I am. And men freaking love it. They love you putting up boundaries. The world needs you putting up boundaries. The world needs you regulated, rooted in your own medicine, following your purpose, filling up your own cup, because everyone, hallelujah, everyone around me benefits from me filling up my cup. Didn't show up for me on YouTube for a month, had a bit of anxiety around it, stuck with it, understood why I had this big block around showing up here, moved through it, showing up here. I believe in my heart of hearts, this is the most authentic I've been in one of my videos here, because now I feel safe that you all can come and rip me to shreds and I'll be okay. Hope this has helped you. Please, you guys give me so much love when you just hit a like, if you leave me a comment, if you share this with your friends, if you subscribe. Every little bit helps me with my purpose of getting this out into the world. And I just want to quickly drop you into your bodies and help you set some energetic boundaries. Because I've had clients come through and they do the internal work, and suddenly their boss is treating them differently, their boyfriend's treating them differently, because they're setting it's scientifically proven, we have this aura around us, whatever goes out comes back in. So when we're taking care of our inner world, when we're taking care of our inner boundaries and our boundaries with self. I deleted Instagram a couple of days ago. I don't even think about Instagram now, but last week I felt myself on there scrolling, doom scrolling. I don't do that. So I deleted it and I was like, boundary with self. So having better boundaries with yourself teaches others how to have better boundaries with you. I'm going to shut up and stop talking. So close your eyes and take a deep breath in, my loves. Rolling those eyes all the way up into the back of your eyebrows. Bringing them all the way down to your heart space. Taking a deep breath in. And a deep breath out, let it go. Just feeling your feet flat on the floor. If you're laying down, just feeling roots going down from the bottoms of your feet all the way into the center of the earth, grounding you, rooting you in this present moment. And just scanning your body from the tip of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes, and just noticing any tension, any stuck energy, any emotions. And taking a deep breath in, holding at the top. And as you exhale, sending it all down into the center of the earth to be released. Feeling a light coming out of the top of your head, connecting up to Sky Daddy, universe, cosmos, your higher self, whatever you believe in. And now allow that light to encompass you in a big bubble. Allowing that bubble to be whatever color that you need right now. Whatever color represents boundaries. Making this bubble so tight that nothing can penetrate it. Allowing this bubble to move out, out, out as far as it needs to go. Feeling safe, grounded, connected. As you take a deep breath in and hold, we're just going to screenshot this bubble into our nervous system. And exhale, let it go. Well done. You're going to slowly open up the eyes, looking around the room, familiarizing yourself with everything around the room, flicking those wrists as if you were flicking water off them. Jesus, I went deep then too. My loves, I hope that this was helpful for you. If you would like access to, I think there's over 30 tools in there now. I just released a princess treatment subliminal for manifesting on autopilot earlier this morning. It's laced with concentration binaural beats, because I know we've all got a little bit ADHD these days. So you can listen to it while you're walking, cleaning, working, sleeping, scrolling, just having it on in the background. You've got, so if you enjoyed that meditation, I've got all kinds of meditations in there: nervous system reset, manifestation, shadow work, inner child, manifesting your best self, your future self, everything. This space is my absolute everything. It's currently $14.95 a month. If you use the link below, you get a free trial as well. There's so much in there that I will be raising the price next month. But thank you for being in my space. You've also got other meditations for free on this channel. And if you enjoyed this today, please give me a like, a comment, a subscribe, something. It all contributes to getting my message out there.